Good morning, class. We're going to go over what we learned yesterday, so please take out your homework on why the atomic bomb was created.
Hey, Mr. Truman. I brought you an orange.
You gave me this orange, Ike. You can answer the first question and read your answer to the class on where did the atomic bombs come from.
I'd be glad to. The idea of the atomic bomb was first seen in the Nazis' plan to exterminate the Jews. Hitler and the Nazis wanted to create a weapon of mass destruction. The Nazis attempted to purify uranium-235, which could be used to build an atomic bomb. Albert Einstein and other scientists knew about the Nazis' plan to create this atomic bomb, and shortly after informed President Roosevelt and about the Nazis' plan. Albert Einstein sent a letter to FDR explaining the Nazis' plan to construct a bomb out of uranium. The U.S. was forced to develop an atomic bomb before the Nazis did. Then the Manhattan Project was created. Through the U.S.'s Manhattan Project, which consisted of J. Robert Oppenheimer, Einstein, and other important contributors, the U.S. developed the first nuclear weapon.
Very good, Ike, but it's Einstein. Now, Harry, can you please explain to the class why we have the atomic bombs?
Yes, Mr. Truman. It was important to have the atomic bomb because America wanted to avoid sending our soldiers into battle. We have also heard the news last year, in '49, that the Soviets successfully created their own atomic bomb. Therefore, we must compete with their nuclear weapons and help keep our country safe.
Thanks, Harry. Next class, we're going to take a short break and look at a film presented by the Federal Civil Defense Administration. Yes, Ike?
Real quick, what is the FCDA?
Good question, Ike, but I think Harry knows the answer. Yes, Harry.
Mr. Truman, the FCDA was made by President Harry Truman. It instructs us how to handle a possible attack. They conduct drills and tests in preparation for an attack. And lastly, they create anti-propaganda against the communist nations.
Now, class, turn your attention to the film in the back of the room.
The Federal Civil Defense Administration presents Preparing for a Nuclear Attack.
Whether you're a cool cat or a square, listen up. Now it's time to talk about fallout shelters. Fallout shelters are effective in protecting U.S. citizens from radiation produced from an atomic bomb.
A fallout shelter can simply be a bunker in the ground. Fallout shelters should be stocked with food, water, and other necessities.
Now let's take you inside a real fallout shelter. It's important to have games inside a fallout shelter to keep you occupied, such as chess and Pictionary. Little Johnny here keeps himself occupied by playing with his dolls. Inside a fallout shelter, you should have a bed with sheets, pillows, and anything else needed to stay warm. Also, having a nice companion isn't a bad thing.
Food and water are basic elements for survival and should be included in your supplies in your fallout shelters. And remember, you're most likely going to be down here for a while, so ration your food wisely. Hygiene is also another basic necessity needed in a fallout shelter. Hygiene supplies consist of toothpaste, toothbrushes, floss, soap, Q-tips, and shampoo.
When you got to go, you gotta go. So set aside a place in your fallout shelter to go. Essential to have a radio in your fallout shelter so you can stay up to date on the progression of the radioactivity.
What's up, Daddy-o?
After this young man refuses a cigarette, they see a flash, and they immediately duck and cover.
Get into a prone position underneath cover or against the wall and cover the back of your head with your hands.
Watch as little Johnny and Joey show you a few possible examples. When little Joey sees the bright light, he ducks and covers. Little Johnny is brushing up on his karate skills. He sees a bright light. He ducks and covers. Joey sees the white light as he's going about his business. He immediately ducks and covers.
The bomb produces heat of several million degrees, a good deal hotter than the temperature on the surface of the sun. This heat travels at the speed of light. A megatron explosion could kill an unshielded man 8 miles from ground zero. A 20 megatron explosion could kill an unshielded man 20 miles away. It could blister and cripple the bodies of unsheltered people well beyond that.
The shock waves of a blast from a nuclear explosion travel about 900 miles an hour, 9 times the force of a major hurricane. Blasts could destroy a brick building 9.5 miles from ground zero.
The millions of tons of pulverized earth and debris sucked up as high as 15 miles about the fireball of a large nuclear explosion become a deadly radioactive fallout cloud. It spreads its lethal radioactivity over wide areas hundreds of miles downwind from ground zero.
Fallout radioactivity cannot be detected by taste or touch. It fills the atmosphere, the air you breathe, and attacks the vital organs of your body with invisible radiation.
The following is a film of a nuclear test site.
Now for civil defense, another realistic test is held. In a 2-story house on Main and Elm Streets, a mannequin family waits, 3,500 feet from atomic destruction. They're lifeless dummies, but to the civil defense officials testing bomb shelters, they could help save lives. A second home stands a mile away. America is seeking through these drills to strengthen home front defenses, for their strength means our safety. Dozens of cars are on the streets of the ghost hamlet in Nevada. The blast's blinding flash silhouettes observers 7 miles away. Then its ugly mushroom cloud swirls skyward. Within an hour, the dirt-caked troops, all safe, have abandoned their foxholes and are pushing through a veil of dust as GIs pointing Geiger counters lead the way.
After the bomb is detonated, the FCDA checks the Nuketown for radiation levels.
They discovered that the radiation levels were dangerously high. This is a long-term effect of radiation exposure.
That's all, folks. Why are you so coy and shy?